So, guys, we had to skip our last episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! News you might have missed. The last time we were going to do this was about 2 weeks ago, but my wife had a headache that night, so we weren't able to meet. But we have a lot to discuss with you tonight on things that if you've been watching the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, you might have missed out on because there's just so much content always coming out. Oh, thanks, Grunt. I appreciate that you can hear me. Okay, so, oh, it should say thanks. Okay, so, first of all, we've got KC Games back with us in Obelisk Blue 13. They're going to be walking us through lots of different things in terms when it comes to the meta and just different things that they've been noticing. For Obelisk Blue 13, you guys definitely need to check out his channel. It's Golden Lord Yugioh. He's always got lots of great content on there and has amazing luck when it comes to opening packs. Carlos, in fact, didn't you just get another Dragoon in a random pack? Is that correct?
So I bought a Megaton this was it this weekend? It was maybe Friday, just because I was bored, and I pulled Dragoon in the first pack, and then I pulled also in the same tin. So I only got one tin. I pulled Borreload Savage, IP Masquerena, and then Mystic Mine, all as secret
I
rares.
know, I know. My son Matthew's also here by me, and so yeah, we're kind of laughing. KC Games is also going to be with us. He's also a frequent guest on the channel. He's done a few deck profiles with me, and so we're also super happy to have him with. Now, Casey had brought this to my attention. He had said to me, and Carlos, you had said something similar, that Virtual World is the best deck of the format, and we just had a major tournament, and huge shout outs to Luxury Gaming. I contacted them asking if I could walk through the content that they put together, and they just had this massive tournament, and we're talking tons of duelists, well over 200 people. And I mean, they had so many different things, and Virtual World is what ended up coming out on top. Now, what's interesting here, though, is if you look at what's there, you've got 51 Zodiac variants, you got 41 Virtual World variants, 37 Eldritch variants, and then you also have the Dogmatica Invoke that, if you watch our channel, you've seen Obelisk Blue showcase very well. Now, walking through the final results, this is amazing to me. Not a single Zodiac variant made it into the top 16. That was absolutely amazing to me. And if you look at the
That's
breakdown
not
here,
true.
huh?
That's not true.
Not that's according to their website.
I thought fourth place. Yeah, fourth place is it's Zoo, Dogmatica, Eldritch.
Oh, maybe it is. Okay, I will take a look at that. Sorry if I've misspoke.
It's all right.
Because we're actually going to look at the deck profiles here next.
All
So,
right,
but
sweet.
if you look at this, you've got 6 virtual worlds, 6 Eldritch variants, 2 of the new ritual deck that is dropping here soon. You've got Altergeist, one lone Altergeist player, which I thought was awesome. And then you've got Invoke Dogmatica Shadal, which is just absolutely amazing. Now, I wanted to show you guys that breakdown so that we can actually walk through the decks. So here is first place. So if you take a look at this here, this is the Virtual World deck that took first. This is Luke Coogan, or I think it's Coogan.
Mhm.
And he did a fantastic job here. Second place is the Ritual deck, the Fairy Ritual deck. And I'm kicking myself that I don't have some of these cards now and they were cheaper. Now,
Yeah, Drytron.
so here is the next one. So we've got Dogmatica. Oh, it is Zodiac. I see it now. Yeah,
Yep.
it's barely Zodiac, but yes, it's here. Okay, so
So,
all right, I
so
see
I'd
the
like
Zodiac
to.
cards.
Oh,
Okay, so that's from Paulo here.
can I say
And
something about that list actually?
oh, okay, go ahead. What do you want to say?
So, so something really important to note is that he's playing two Bunny Blast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you don't usually see Bunny Blast. What he did here is
basically due to the last Yu-Gi-Oh extravaganza, and then there was Yu-Gi-Oh Day, and then there was another LCS that they had, and Book of Moon was popping up here and there, like in a lot of different lists,
Yes.
and so it was actually being more relevant now that infinite impermanence, isn't being seen in a whole lot of
Yes.
lists.
Yes. And that was one
Um,
thing I noticed. I'm like, where are the impermanences?
yep.
But
So
anyways, go ahead.
yeah. So with Book of Moon being the answer to cards like Zeus or Trident, now you can have this added effect. So, well, I guess you can't use it with Zeus. Sorry, but for Trident, you can now detach a material from Trident, and it will negate the activation of a spell card that targets it.
Wow. Wow.
So
Well,
that's what they were doing with Ram Ram when it came to impermanence.
okay. Okay.
So now,
Interesting.
yeah, it was interesting to note that he replaced the second and third Ram Rams with this effect.
Wow. That is amazing tech from
There
this
is,
player here.
yeah, there
Uh,
is one more last thing for
yes.
this. So any mixture of a deck with Zoo, they don't usually use Pot of Avarice.
Okay.
Pure Zoo will use Pot of Avarice,
Yeah.
but in order to recycle your only Trident, Bunny Blast is being used, because if this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can target one Zodiac card in your graveyard except for Bunny Blast and add it to your hand. So you can actually target your Trident and put it back in the extra deck.
Oh, wow. So you're recycling the use. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. That is amazing. Um Something else I want to talk about here. Again, we've got another virtual world player.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, there's the Altergeist player who I thought, wow, that's pretty amazing. He got to where he was. He
Poltergeist
does
with
have,
Dogmatica, right?
yeah, there is some Dogmatica there. Yes, I was just going to bring that up. So you do see Dogmatica there. Um, the thing that really shocked me and was to see the Lair of Darkness support mixed with Eldritch. I thought that was interesting with Shadal's. And it's a 60 card variant, it looks like here. That is huge, and yet it still made top 8. I was absolutely shocked when I saw that. Um, Another deck list that was very interesting to me is right here. Casey, you talked about players playing very few monsters. Here you go. Five.
Yep. Yep.
Five monsters in this deck list that I've got up for you guys. You've got two Eldritch the Golden Lords, one Red Eyes Black Dragon, the Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Wyvern just to get Dragoon back out. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm looking at this going, oh my gosh, where are the monsters? And there's only five. Carlos, your thoughts on seeing something like that finishing so well in a tournament like this? What's your thoughts?
This is exactly why Dragoon's gonna get banned eventually.
All right, expand on that thought.
It's just it's kind of crazy that you could literally build, like, he built his whole deck to be tailored towards recycling his one boss monster, and it's literally crazy that Dragoon's that strong that you can have a deck tailored just around it, and you can still make top 16 in a massive tournament like this.
Yes, yeah. And he's not the only one. There's another duelist that had a similar build. So two people ended up doing extremely well with only five monsters in the deck. That is just just blows my mind. I never thought I'd see that in Yu-Gi-Oh unless you're playing like a burn strategy or something like that. So just absolutely amazing to me. Um, Casey, what are your thoughts looking at how this tournament came out? What do you think's the meta here now?
I think so. Virtual World was obvious to a lot of players,
Yeah.
and then so that is kind of being labeled as the combo deck of the format.
Uh
Now,
huh.
Drytron is a lot more combo, for sure. The issue with Drytron is if at all possible, if you could pull up Pack's list, he got top 16.
Okay, let me find him. Okay, let me
Pack
see where he's
and
at.
Jesse Cotton. I'd like to point
There's
out.
Pack. I got him up.
Okay, so with Pack's list, he went a megalith route,
Yes.
which was interesting to me because megalith full, and he used the Herald of Ultimate.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So basically, what Pack was doing versus what Jesse was doing, Pack was just trying to combo. He was just this is literally what it would look like if it was a combo deck.
Yeah.
What Jesse was doing is playing it more so as an anti-meta deck.
Oh,
And you'll notice,
wow.
if you notice, the Lancia's main decked.
Okay.
Lancia is searchable in this deck.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Explain the combo, or explain how that happens for everybody.
So I'm trying to remember. There's something that can search the fairy, or sorry, Carlos, if you know,
yeah.
it'd be great.
So Lance is a fairy, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
When Cyber Angel Ben 10's tributed, and
okay.
all the Drytron monsters tribute for cost,
Yes.
Ben 10 can search a fairy, like literally any fairy. That's why you're playing triple Herald of the Orange Light, and then you can also search Artifact Lancia.
Wow. Wow.
And this may sound very gimmicky, but the way that this deck kills is literally through access code talker.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's go
It
through
is
that.
very rare. It is very rare for it to kill any different way. What's very nice to note is if anyone has this one printed card, the Cyber Angel, it's right next to Ben 10 for Jesse's list.
Uh-huh.
Can't think of its name. Do you know what that one is, Carlos? I'm sorry.
He's not on Jesse's list. He's on Pack's list.
Let me see if I can find Jesse.
Which?
Well, actually, they both played it. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
the
yeah, I
card's
don't
insane.
see Jesse.
Basically-
Hang on.
I'm only seeing Ben 10.
Let me go to Jesse. I think he finished in second.
Yes, he got second
Yeah.
place.
So just second. There he is. Okay.
So, I don't know what this Cyber Angel is.
No, I get it. No, I totally understand. This is what happens when people send me deck lists, and I'm squeezing my eyes to try and see what the cards
I'm looking
are.
it up right now.
'Cause
Natasha.
I have no
There we
clue.
go. It's Cyber Angel Natasha.
Natasha. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. So the way she reads, forget the part where if she's ritual summoned, whatever. It's once per turn, you can target one face-up monster you control, gain life points equal to half its attack. So that's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so when a ritual monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack. But this is what matters. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one other Cyber Angel monster from your graveyard.
Yes.
Then target one monster your opponent controls and special summon this card. If you do, take control of that monster.
This card has wreaked havoc on me many times in the past, actually, when I faced decks like this. Natasha is good. Really, really good. And you have to be very careful how you handle it.
Yeah, and you can actually summon her from the graveyard.
Yes.
With the new Drytron's ritual spell. So, what we were seeing from Jesse, I watched the finals. So basically, it really does feel like a die roll between Drytron and Virtual World. If Drytron would go first, I feel like it would win every time against Virtual World, just because of Lancia.
Okay.
So,
right, because it can't banish, function. Right? Because for people who don't know, Lancia, you can't banish. So, and we know that Virtual World does banishing to get things off.
So the only thing that would prevent in the Virtual World is the spell card that you get to search in the graveyard, and then the trap card you can banish to modulate your level during your turn. So you could still like combo off.
You can, but this is what I was gonna get at. So Jesse's list main decks a Vanities Ruler.
Oh, so his opponent can't special summon. Yeah.
Correct.
Oh gosh.
So the deck hardly uses its normal summon, which is why you only see one Manju here. The other combo that it does is it goes into the Union Carrier over here to equip to itself a Dusk Knight,
Right.
or Dawn Knight. However, I'm gonna look him up myself. I think it's Dawn Knight. Um, looking up, getting you guys the effect.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I don't know if you had it ready or not.
No, I did not. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send one light monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is sent from your deck to the graveyard, you can target one light monster in your graveyard and place it on top of your deck. So it's a foolish burial for being a light. And so with their ritual spell, it is a 2000 attack monster. So you can actually summon out Ben 10, or more importantly, you're going to summon out the the one we were just talking about. I'm so sorry.
Natasha.
Yes,
Yeah.
Natasha. You can summon Natasha. You can do quite a bit of different stuff there. But the idea here is you get Dawn Knight into the graveyard to dump what you need.
Wow.
So I wish I knew all the combos. I'm still learning the deck myself.
Oh, no, I get that. I just think, so for me, coming from the side where at our locals that we have, there's been times I've ran into ritual fairy players, and they're very good. They're very consistent, especially with all the support they get. To see the deck do this well, I honestly just wasn't anticipating it. And so I thought that was pretty cool to see that it ended up topping in such a huge field and getting second place. Bravo to Jesse Cotton here. That's pretty amazing. I was not anticipating that.
Well, he is very good at the game. If you guys haven't heard of him, I think he's been the world two times.
Oh, wow.
I know once for sure he's been the worlds, but yeah, it's even in his profile picture. You can see on the back, he reps Canada.
Oh,
and,
sweet.
Yeah, he's been to worlds a few times.
Oh, yeah, that's from 2017. That's pretty impressive. Absolutely, pretty impressive. All right.
Carlos was about to say something.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Carlos. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the ritual fairy decks have always been kind of cool and gimmicky. The problem is they didn't really have a consistent way to pop off.
Yes.
But now that the Drytrons, they tribute for cost, you really have synergy finally with an archetype that's not just you have a synergy with an archetype that's not just fairy based to get the maximum effect off of Ben 10, and so you're now seeing people being able to get maximum value off of it, and so that's why this deck's becoming like really popular, because it's hyper consistent and you get so much value. Like Casey said, you don't even have to use your normal summon. You can like spam out ritual monsters. You can like negate with the Herald of the Orange Light. You can bring up I'm not sure if this list is playing Herald of the Perfection, but you could go that route. And
No, he's playing the Drytron monster.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could take this deck, and it's really interesting.
Well, and then when you get to the normal summon, if you do have the Vanity's Fiend in hand, I mean, that just completely shuts down your opponent then. Because they'd have to have an infinite impermanence, but if they have a way to stop that, I mean, you're just in trouble.
Well, that was the biggest thing about this event. Go through the lists. You'll notice infinite impermanence is not very popular.
That's the next thing I was going to talk about. If you go through this, you look at the side decks that people had. I see Evenly Match. I see your Ash. I see your Droll. I see the Primal Being. Twin Twisters were huge. Cosmic Cyclones, because they must have been anticipating a lot of Eldritch, is my guess. Correct. Here. You see the Gamma, but look at that, guys. All these top cuts, and they are not playing infinite impermanence. That is just nuts to me. Looking at where the format's going, wow. I just didn't anticipate it. That's amazing.
Yes. When I was telling you in private, Tim, about how budget the deck could actually be,
yes,
I'd like you to visit the top 8 Matu Manus.
Matu Manus. Okay, let me go to him. Okay, let me find him. There he is. Got him. Yep.
Ignoring the tactics in the side deck, look how cheap this deck is.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. What's emergency teleport at again?
Okay, sorry. There was a buyout on TCG Player for even just the gold rare. So it was floating around $8 before this. I can vouch for saying that eTele, like, it's a Saki one of. I don't think it's 100% necessary.
Yeah.
It's great when you have it, like, for sure. But if you wanted to go even just play like a third copy of Foolish Burial Goods, like that could suffice, or even Foolish Burial sending Nyan Nyan to the graveyard sets up a play there, because all you have to do is special summon a virtual world monster and she'll trigger bringing herself back. So it's kind of like an E-Telly.
Yes.
It's not like an E-Telly, but it is.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Makes sense
But
to me. Yeah,
the rest of the
someone in the
deck is
chat
super
just
cheap.
mentioned the Anamorphage card you and I were talking about earlier, Casey, which I thought I'd never seen it jump in price. It has been a 5-cent foil for years and has now jumped up to $2.50. And I just offloaded a bunch of them for a nickel a piece. I'm like, no, why? It's and so that's my situation with Yu-Gi-Oh. There's times where, man, the prices just literally jump overnight depending on how someone does. Um, but looking, and again, they're just responding to the ritual decks that we looked at. But yeah, if you are not sold on Virtual World, I think at this point you should be. Carlos, is there anything you see? Let's go back to the winner of this tournament. And again, guys, this is Luxury Gaming TV. They have a Twitch channel, which is right here that you can see. They've got an Instagram. They've got their own YouTube channel. Of course, the Facebook group, which is how I found this through Casey. You definitely want to check them out. They do lots of fun events based on what I was looking at earlier. But again, looking at this first place build, Carlos, is there anything that you're seeing in here that you would do different? Or do you think this is what you're going to see a lot of players running for probably the next month or two?
I mean, it's all preference. Like, nothing's technically correct, nothing's technically wrong.
Yes.
You could if you wanted to, you could replace the Nibiru's with a different hand trap. You don't necessarily have to play the Gamma package if you don't want to. It just has really good synergy with the deck. However, I don't know. It's a really standard virtual world list. Like, if you're gonna change anything in this list, it would pretty much just be the kind of like side cards. Like, you would choose like to maybe run something instead of triple tactics talents, or you choose to run a different hand trap package. So it's all just kind of taste at this point, because like the standard virtual world list is pretty much set in stone.
Gotcha. Makes sense to me. Makes sense.
Um,
Oh, go ahead, Casey. What are you thinking there? No, you're fine.
Two big showings from a couple hidden cards in the extra decks that didn't really show up the last times this deck topped.
Okay.
The first one is Xiao Feng.
Xiao Feng.
Yeah, now they have two listed at 30.
Okay. Let me see where that's at.
This was a 30-cent card, people.
And it's already went high. Rats, I wish I could. Oh, I see it here now. Okay, this card right here. Is this the right one, guys?
It's $30.
Oh my gosh.
Unless I'm just seeing lag on your end. It's the Synchro Monster.
Oh, it's the Synchro one. Thank you.
Yeah, that's Chi Wen.
Okay. So this one here?
Feng.
Okay, I think this is it.
Chaofeng.
Yes, I got it now. Wow.
Okay.
So this went from cents to a complete buyout now.
Yes. So one thing that's very interesting about this card. So first of all, it's level 9. So it fits right in with what Virtual World tries to do. It is a worm. So that is relevant.
Yeah.
And then, so while the Synchro Summoned card is on the field, your opponent cannot activate effects of monsters with the same original attributes as the Yang Zing monsters used for Synchro Summon this card.
Oh.
So that is never going to happen because you don't play Yang Zings.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it's this part, I believe. Yeah, when this card is synchro summoned, when this synchro summon card is destroyed by battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 tuner monster from your deck to your hand.
Oh my goodness.
This can add Ash Blossom if you need it, or it can add Lulu or any of the regular Lao Lao, any of the regular tuners that you need. And then what's cool is once per turn, when a monster or monsters your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon 1 worm type monster from your deck in defense, whose original attribute matches the attribute of one of those destroyed monsters. So what's in the format? Zoo. Zoo is Earth. Virtual World has Earth monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bit of synergy that just these people knew ahead of time. And then Carlos, you'll have to help me for the other monster I was going to touch on, or Tim, if you know the rank 3 that's right next to Xiao Feng.
Show me the list again.
I sure can.
For first place.
Yeah, once he pulls up the list on the screen, I'll be able to see it, because I don't have the list on my...
Yeah, this guy is a very cheap card. It might be being bought out now. I don't know.
Is it number next to what?
Next to Breaksword and Xiao Feng.
Is it number 75, Bamboozling Gossip Shadow?
Yes.
Say that again. Number what?
Number 75, Bamboozling Gossip Shadow.
Number 75. Gotcha. Oh, yes, I know this card. Yes, okay.
Is it being bought out? Let's see.
Well, it has a recent printing from Toon Chaos, so it's kind of hard to buy it out. But
I was going to say, this just dropped again, yeah.
The Secret Rare version shot back up in price from Battles of Legend Relentless Revenge.
So this is really important if you have to go nuts, and you have the present. This is where E-Telly becomes relevant. They can use E-Telly to get into this before going into any of their level 9 synchros. This effect stops Nibiru.
Wow.
It also stops
any hand traps, really.
Mostly the way I saw people using it was they would use it on top of summoning calamities, so that if someone were to try to gamma the calamities, they could respond with this and then just negate the gamma, so calamities would go off.
Wow. Yep. Wow. I'm always amazed by the tech that you see from different duelists. Pretty amazing, without a doubt. So big shout outs to the players that did so well in this massive tournament, because it's pretty impressive. Real quick, what do you guys think of the Altergeist player? Looked like he ended up in 5th here, or somewhere tied in the top 8. Thoughts on how he got here? I didn't watch the tournament, but I'm curious, what were how do you think he did it with this build?
Probably off the strength of the Dogmatica cards.
Okay. So just, man, look at that. He's only got the 2 monsters and the 3 spell or traps. Or wait, no, he's got the Nadir Servants too. But still, wow, that is just amazing.
Yeah. So, well, Altergeists thrive off of having traps. They activate when traps happen. What's really, really awesome is the synergy here. So in Altergeist, you don't have to summon from the extra deck all that much.
Right,
you really don't.
Absolutely.
And so what's really crazy about having just a body that says it can't be destroyed by an extra deck card, and then you using the punishment to send Elder Entity Natis to getting basically a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
That keep in mind, you only searched off of 1 card. And then when you say it's only the 2, Nadir Servant adds from Graveyard as well.
Wow.
And so there's quite a bit that they get. I also like the fact that, there's not a lot of people that realize that Altergeists are spellcasters.
Oh, right,
and,
yes.
You can use the new Magistus card with them. That's the Link monster that's in the extra deck over there. So no, the deck's awesome. Shout out to him. He's a player from Germany.
Oh wow!
I don't know too much about him. Just from what I've heard. But yeah, he's gotten some tops before. It sounds like so.
And again, guys, just to give you the background here, because I'm going to go back to our main clip here.
Okay.
You definitely want to check out this group. This is Luxury Gaming. This was an online tournament. As you can tell, there were tons of decks that were being used in this tournament. Notice, though, what KC Games said earlier, echoed by Carlos, dinosaurs did not make it to top 16. So you
Yep.
see that they did not get in there. All the hype about Prank Kids, not there. You've got the Dogmatica cards making its presence known in other decks, but the real story here is the Eldritch Virtual World decks, along with the new Ritual monsters. The
Mhm.
support, they really showcased what they can do. Again, to Luxury Gaming, we appreciate them allowing us to talk about their tournament and the deck lists. Thank you so much for allowing us to do that. Let's go ahead now and talk about some of the new things coming out here in December. On the 18th, this was supposed to originally drop on the 3rd, but we've got Genesis Impact coming. And one of the big cards for that we looked at here is right here. Is it Drytron? Is that how I say that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was really, it's just a really great card. Very effective for any ritual decks. And I do like the way Konami's doing things this year with collector rares. I think that's a great step for the company. It gives lots of people chase cards to go after, but it also leads typically to a common, or not a common printing, but a super or an ultra printing. And speaking of that, I really like some of the cards that are getting reprinted. So, for example, if you've been waiting to get Nightmare Unicorn, this is the time to do it. The card is hovering right around $1. Super excited to see that this is now affordable for lots of players who, $22 was just too much. Same thing with the Altergeist, the Invoker of Madness. This card was a secret rare, I believe, before, and it was about $10. You see that it's around 2 now. And then for your cyber players, Cyber Dragon, you've got Cyber Emergency. So some really good reprints. But what we're also going to see out of this set is the Evil Twin cards. Carlos, how big of a splash do you think these cards are going to make in the meta the way that it's shaping up right now?
You're talking about the Evil Twin cards or just Genesis Impactors in general?
Well, in general, but the Evil Twin cards, what do you think here?
So I don't think the Evil Twin archetype is too good by itself. Like, pretty much your main combo for the Evil Twins is you normal summon one of the small twins, you get to special summon the other one, and then you can either depending on which twin link monster you're going to, you can either get a pop or get a draw. And to me, that's kind of really not good enough.
Yeah,
And the deck, on top of that, the deck really struggles with literally any hand trap. I think it dies to like any hand trap.
yeah.
So a deck like that really isn't going to see very much meta play, in my opinion.
I think a lot
But
of people are excited about it just because I don't know. I think a lot of players for some reason are very pumped about the Evil Twin cards. Now, me personally, I'm not, but I've heard an awful lot of people, including some people in our chat here, that they're excited about it. So, do you think it's going to be more of a rogue type of deck then?
yeah, if that at all, I think honestly people are mostly just excited about it because of like the lore that's behind it and like the design of the cards. People really seem to like that.
Okay, okay, makes sense to me. Casey, what are some cards that players should definitely be getting out of this set?
Okay. So first of all, I'm gonna start with the high end stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So if you are wanting your collector's rare stuff, um, this is the time to buy. These are first edition.
Oh.
They really only go up from here.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare Unicorn has actually gone up in its price when from when the ban list was kind of looming, because not because Unicorn would get hit, but people were speculating maybe it wouldn't even be needed in extra decks anymore.
Uh-huh.
But this is a very popular, like, if you're an aggro deck, you would go into your Nightmare Phoenix and then pop a back row. Then you'd step ladder into Nightmare Unicorn, getting rid of another card, and then you'd go into Access Code Talker, and you'd have either game or just like infinite advantage on your opponent because you've been able to walk through a lot of their cards.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a high-end collector, get your Unicorn now. I think Unicorn and Phoenix would be the ones to grab out of these collector rares. Maybe Artemis.
They are the highest ones right now. It's so funny you say that. Just looking at what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, I was gonna say the new Drytron. I believe this is the ritual. Hold on, let me. Yeah, the ritual spell that can summon any of them from your hand or graveyard.
Yeah.
This one's $100.
Oh wow.
Honestly, just get the Ultra. That's 15.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I know they just got second, and I know it seems like they're probably gonna get bought. The set's not out. Not for us.
Yeah, it's not
honestly,
out yet. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's worth waiting. There will be an initial dip. You only see 11 listings for Drytron Nova. This is the one they play 3 of. The ritual spell, as you will see with Jesse's list, he only played 1 and Pac only played 2.
Oh,
so
interesting.
This is the one.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't need this one as much. And it has 19 listings. So what I'm getting at here is, yeah, it looks like, oh my gosh, these cards are under $20. I better grab them. Wait for the initial release. Wait until there's like 30, 50 listings on here.
Uh-huh.
They're going to be competing. They're all going to be cutting each other down a penny, and because they want to get their money.
Right.
And so they're gonna be piggybacking off the fact that it got second, and that's what it will be for a second, and then they'll go back up.
Okay.
Because Drytron will be sticking around. So wait for that first initial dip. I say if you see Novas around $12 to $15, snag them. If you see the ritual spell around $8 to $10, snag them.
Okay.
I don't think they'll go too much lower than that.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
keep going. No, you're fine. You're fine.
The other one to keep your eye on is Artemis, the Magistus Moon Maiden. She's usually just like a 1 or maybe a 2 of in Shadal Invoke Dogmatica. So if you play that deck, she's one to look out for. If you really want to bling her out, she's under $100. She's sitting at around 88 for the collector's rare. So that one might be worth getting.
If you're a collector, my hat goes off to you, but that is not me. $12 or lower is what I'm looking at. Yes.
Yes. So you see this $12 mark. She's the only one that might break the rule of when people first crack the sets. She might stick around that $10 to $12 mark, just because she's also I hate this word, but waifu. She's waifu material.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm not. I wish the community wasn't so obsessed with that sometimes, but unfortunately they are.
So everything else in the set, expect to dip heavy.
Okay.
Because if it's not a collector's rare, it's not sticking around its price. Because there's so many people that bought this set just hoping and thinking, oh, this is another Toon Chaos, but it's not.
Yeah, this set really isn't good. This set's really bad.
Okay, expand on why you feel that way, Carlos.
Well, just because most of the decks in this set aren't good.
Mm-hmm. They're not tier 1 for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And then the one deck that is Drytron, it's pretty good. Like I don't know. I just don't see it being like this super meta relevant deck for like a long time. I feel like people are just kind of playing it now because like it's something new and it's like something to experiment with. But I don't think it's actually going to stick around too long.
Nope, makes sense to me.
Also, it's a bunch of rares. Outside of those 2 ultras, it's a bunch of rares.
But yeah, I hate that. Like, I wish I really hate the way they changed the side sets, because my favorite used to be opening the side sets, because you would get 24 secrets in every box.
Yeah.
And like, granted, even if you didn't pull like the chase card in the set, at least you got like some really cool looking cards.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's like you're limited to like what you can get because you're gonna get 3 ultras, and if you don't get 3 ultras, you're gonna get like a collector's rare, which is really cool. But I don't see why they couldn't just have like kept the ratios the same
I agree.
with
Yeah.
the secret rares and just add the collector's rare on top of it.
Yes, I agree.
Right.
They seem to be going more in that rare format, even if you look at Maximum Gold. And don't get me wrong, I love the way the premium gold looks. Love it. But, oh man, everything else is just a rare. You know, and so it'd be nice to see maybe them do things just a little bit different.
It is nice though. I do have to admit, it is nice though when they do reprint like a lower chase cards like
Yes.
Nightmare Unicorn and Nightmare
Yes.
Phoenix and rares. But if that's the case, like you could do the same thing, but just make them super rares.
Yes.
And they would still kind of be shiny, and you could have your cake and eat it too. Is what I'm saying.
Oh no, and I'm all about that because a lot of my decks that are quote unquote blinged out, most of the cards are only like a few bucks, but they look shiny. You know, it's.
Hey, I have to switch to my phone. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second.
No, you're
I'll call
fine.
right back.
You're perfectly fine. That actually segues just fine here. So, Carlos, there's new Lightning Overdrive support that I know you're pretty excited about.
For sure, I definitely want to talk about this
Yes,
because
'cause
there's a lot of really cool. Well, so they've just been revealing a lot of really cool things. So the first thing that they revealed was new Bujin support, and so first of all, I want to start off by saying each Bujin card is based on a different anime card or a different anime character.
Oh,
or
sweet!
just
I did
monster.
not know that. Sweet.
And so I'm almost 100% sure the card on the left is based on Pegasus, and the card on the right is based on Utopia.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah, can you see
Which
that,
is really
Matthew?
cool.
Yeah, yeah, that is
And
pretty cool.
So without further ado, like these cards are really awesome because they like help Bujin so much. So the first one is Bujin Maha. I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it looks good to me.
I'm gonna call it Bujin Mahitsu.
Yes.
Mahitsu. It says you can only use this card's first and second effect once per turn, which we like. Hard once per turns. You can send one other Bujin card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card. So off the bat, it's an extender, and it's a superior extender because most of the Bujin cards get graveyard effects, and you want them in the graveyard.
Yes, absolutely.
Secondly, it says during your main phase, you can activate one of these effects. Send one Bujin monster from your hand to the graveyard. Add one Bujin monster with a different name from your graveyard to your hand. I like that because it's resource management. You can dump sacky cards you don't want from your in your hand to the graveyard, where they're more beneficial in the graveyard, and you can get cards back to your hand that you really want.
Yeah.
And then it also lets you banish one Bujin monster from your graveyard to send one Bujin monster with a different name from your deck to the graveyard. So a Foolish Burial.
Yeah.
So this first card is really, really good. And then I read the second card, and I'm like, holy crap, this is even better.
Oh, that's what I thought. I thought the second card was better. Yeah, but go ahead and expand on why. It's fantastic.
Okay, so the second card is fantastic. It is called Bujin Torifune, and it says you can only use this card's first and second effect once per turn. You can tribute this card, special summon 2 Bujin monsters with different types from your deck in defense position, except Bujin Torifune. This is ridiculous because this is literally just Rescue Rabbit.
That's what I thought.
Rescue Rabbit for Bujins.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I immediately thought of Rescue Rabbit. And here's the other bonus, though. It does not say negate their effects.
Yeah,
so their effects are going to be live. That's amazing.
And then to top it off, it says when you XC summon a Bujin monster while this card's in your graveyard, so it's going to be in the graveyard because you just tributed it to activate its effect. You can equip this card from your graveyard to that monster, banish any monster destroyed by battle with the equipped monster. So not only do you get a superior extender for Bujins, you also get a monster that equips onto an Xyz and banishes your opponent's monster, which is really good because most of the time your opponent wants their stuff in the graveyard, like Eldritch. You want your Eldritch in the graveyard. You don't want your if you're playing Zodiac, you don't want your Zodiacs in the graveyard.
Right.
A lot of monsters just have graveyard floating
effects.
Absolutely. So this is really, really good. The fact that it not only acts as a superior extender, it also takes care of problematic cards that not letting them go to the graveyard. This is excellent card design.
Oh, I thought the same thing. I thought, what wonderful support for such an old archetype. Casey, are you back by chance? Are you still there?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
can you hear me?
perfect. Now, Casey, you actually just showcased this in our locked into a certain type of tournament where you had
Yes.
an attribute and a type. And I thought your Bujin build was pretty good. How do you feel seeing this kind of support?
Well, so it's funny that Carlos was mentioning Eldritch. So I think Eldritch and this new support go hand in hand because of Bujin Kagatsuchi.
Oh, I haven't played Bujins enough to know.
Okay,
that
expand on that.
Huh?
Expand on that. I don't know the card.
Sorry, I was getting bad connection. So Kagatsuchi, when he's summoned, you get a mill 5.
Oh my gosh.
You get a mill 5.
Wow.
Yeah. So you get to trigger Eldritch traps during the end phase, that kind of stuff. And then what's pretty cool, what you were saying about equipping, and then whatever it battles banishes it.
Yes.
Or it banishes them. That's really good for Susanoo because it gets to attack your opponent's entire field.
Yeah, I just think to myself, this really pushes the Bujin deck back into the main light. I think it's going to be very effective with this. Notice though, guys, this is OCG cards, so we will get it at some point, but this is definitely something to look forward to. And if you're wanting to pick up the Bujin stuff, do it now. While it's maybe still a little bit on the cheap side.
It actually just got bought out, most of their
You're
stuff.
kidding me. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
Yeah, people see things and they throw their money at it. But luckily, I'm pretty sure, like many of the other buyouts, either Konami has reprints planned for most of this stuff, or the price is going to die as the hype dies down over time.
Gosh, I sure hope there will be reprints, because that's tough. Because when did this archetype come out? Was it like 2014, 2015? How old is this?
Yeah, this archetype came out in the Zexal era, so it's pretty old.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So that's very old for sure. But I'm excited about it. Another card that is getting the support is Bujin Intersection here. Oh,
wait,
sorry.
Can you repeat that?
Yes, it's Bujin Intersection. It says, Beast Warrior Bujin monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, except during the battle phase. Once per turn, you can send one Bujin monster from your hand or face-up from your field to the graveyard. Then target one face-up card your opponent controls, negate its effect until the end of this turn. And then the second one, during your end phase, you can send this face-up card from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard. Then target one Bujin monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Pretty strong.
Yeah, I like it because it's very, very diverse in what it does.
Yes.
So first of all, you can negate a monster effect with it, which is really good. And then you get to dump the Bujin cards you want to be in the graveyard, which is something that Bujins are always going to appreciate. And then on top of that, it acts as a monster reborn on the end phase. Like, literally, really, really good card design. I don't think it's as good as the first two, but it's still a good card that I'm pretty sure the deck's going to play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be a staple in other Bujin decks going forward once it releases. KC Games, when I first read this, I actually thought of Gladiator Beasts, how they have a card that is a continuous spell and it protects. But I think this does a little bit more. So what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah. Oh, it's a good card. I mean, I kind of wish it just destroyed it instead of negating, but it is what it is.
Yeah, because it does leave it on the field. Good point.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that, so if people are, like, getting scared of the fact that, Bujins are going to be a thing, Drytrons are being a thing, so all these monsters have something in common. They're all light, and you can use Allied Justice Recycler, I think is the name.
Okay.
Something like that. It's Cycle. And, sorry, I'm being attacked. Cycle or something like that.
Okay.
And it's literally a double DD Crow for light monsters in the graveyard.
Oh my gosh, nice.
And it just saw a little bit of a buyout for the DT. I don't know what the super is going for.
Jeez, oh Pete's, wow. The buyouts. I mean, you
What?
guys are so dead on with this. It's as if everyone's thinking the same thing that's heavily involved in Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, we got to buy it now. I mean, oh my gosh.
Well, it's just people tend to overreact, especially the Yu-Gi-Oh community. It's very reactive, and like if something happens, people are gonna throw their money at it.
Yeah. Speaking of
I never.
overreacting, I have a good story about this. So you remember when Links first dropped and there was that Senate Switch card where you can, move cards? It did nothing, and I spent $12 on three. What was I thinking? I mean, you talk about overreacting. That's overreacting. So yeah, so I definitely understand what you say with that. So do you think those cards? So they will probably do what Casey's saying. They'll probably go back down once the hype's down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to the ice barrier support that's also coming out in Lightning Overdrive. So we've got Mirror Judge of the ice barrier. And again, I love how Konami is finally realizing they have to make everything a hard once per turn. So it says you can only use this card's names or this card's name 1 and 2 effects once per turn each. While you control another ice barrier monster, your opponent loses 500 life points each time they pay life points to activate a card or an effect. You can target up to 2 ice barrier monsters in your graveyard and up to 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck. If you control an ice barrier monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 attack position monster on the field, change it to defense position. Carlos, do you think it's good? Do you think it's trash? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, you took the words out of my mouth. It's trash. Like most of the ice barriers. Which absolutely sucks too, because they like the structure deck. Like people had such high hopes for the structure deck because it's
Yes.
the deck that won the structure deck poll voting all those months ago, and people thought, okay, they have to do something. They have to make the deck at least playable. They did not. Like the structure deck is ended up being like 1 new synchro monster, 2 new decent supports, and then they're releasing some like trash support in the main sets, and it's just really really bad.
Yeah, yeah. I agree. I was disappointed that they didn't give better support. If the
Yeah.
community's looking for ice barriers to be something they want to support, why wouldn't you throw a better card out to
So
them?
So
So,
my thing is the ice barrier strategy never meshed correctly with the actual like the extra deck monsters, because the extra deck monsters, you have all world powerful monsters. Literally every single one of the ice barrier extra deck monsters has been banned at one point or another,
yeah,
and your extra deck is amazing. And I think they should have taken the deck in like a focus where that like it became like a synchro spam deck where you're trying to like spam out the ice barrier extra deck monsters, and instead they kind of doubled down and made the main deck monsters not spam out. Rather, they continued what they did like in 2009 when they released ice barriers. They made them have really really bad floodgate effects and try to throw that on just random floodgate effects on random ice barrier monsters to try to make the deck playable. And that's just not how the deck is. I know that's how they designed it, but that's not how the deck wants to play. The
yeah,
deck wants to play fundamentally as a synchro spam deck because of all the amazing synchro monsters they have.
yeah, yeah. No, that makes sense to me. Makes complete sense. Casey, are you still there?
Yeah.
Oh, good, good. Okay. So,
Um,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say, sorry, I'm a little slow on this, but
No, you're okay.
moving back to Jesse Cotton's list, um, it just dawned on me. Vanity's ruler is actually a fairy, so that's why he only played
Oh,
once, so you
yeah.
can search it.
Yeah, it is a fairy. I forgot about that.
You
Yes.
can actually search it.
Yeah, it's a
That's
fairy.
insane.
I
Okay.
forgot to mention
Anyway.
that because I've played against builds that do search it. Yes, I totally forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up.
It's
Um,
insane.
let's look at this new trap trick support. Wow. Let's look at the synchro monster here because this is absolutely amazing to me when I read it. So you got Trap Tricks Gina. And again, I love that it's a hard once per turn, thank goodness. It says you can only use each of these cards' names 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 effects once per turn. It says the link summoned card is unaffected by trap effects. But listen to this. Effect number 2 is just nuts to me. When you activate whole normal trap cards or resolves, you can set it face down instead of sending it to the graveyard. Wow. And then the third one, during your end phase, you can target one Traptrix monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense. Casey, what are your thoughts hearing that?
Well, if we are in a slower format, this is going to be very, very strong.
Yes, that's what I thought. Oh my gosh. And shout outs to Scarecrow 13 if he's watching. He was already playing a very strong trap trick deck against me for fun, just playtesting one time. And if this card is there and these cards don't go to the grave, oh my gosh. I mean, that's absolutely amazing to me. Carlos, your thoughts?
So Trap Trick has been a deck I really wanted to pick up and just learn how to play because it's one of the few decks I've never messed around with. And like fundamentally, like the deck's playstyle seems really interesting and unique.
Yes.
And then I read a card like this where you can recycle the whole normal cards and essentially they become like Scrapper and Scarecrow. And the whole normal cards are literally some of the most iconic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes.
And it's so cool to see them still get support to this day. And this set's going to be released in 2021. So to me, I find that amazing, man. And I'm just really shout out to Konami on the card design.
Yes.
For the Trap Tricks. And as a card in general, I think the card's amazing. I think it does help the deck a lot, because it essentially provides them a way for them to recycle their trap cards, which is the strong point of the deck and the focus of it.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, like you said, it's a Scapire and Scarecrow type situation. You have your most powerful whole card, basically. Yikes. I mean, that is extremely strong because then you're not having to waste a resource. It's just going to be there again. So pretty amazing to me. Then we've also got the level 4 monster here, Earth type. And it says, again, and I love that these are hard once per turns. Thank you, Konami. You can only use one of these cards' names 1 and 2 effects each per turn, and only once that turn. You can send one set trap you control to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand. The second one, unaffected by the effects of whole normal traps. If you control no cards in your spell and trap zone, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one whole normal trap card in your graveyard and set it to your field. Carlos, how do you feel about it?
So I think this card is pretty good.
Why do you feel it's so good? Which effect do you think rocks?
So first of all, it acts as an extender because it gives you a way to basically link climb up into the link 2, which is something I like. And then it also acts as a recursion, and it lets you get your whole normal traps back from the graveyard, which is really, really good. So literally both of these cards in parallel work so well with each other, because the first one can special summon itself out, or the second one rather can special summon itself out to go into the first one, and then you can banish it to get the trap card back from the graveyard. So essentially, the trap card that you sent to special it, you don't even lose it in the exchange. And then depending on what trap you sent, you can activate it twice with the link monster. So it's really, really good synergy with itself, and it's just a really awesome card design.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Casey, any other thoughts you have about that card?
Not offhand.
Okay, no, that's fine. No, that makes complete sense to me. Now we've got the new archetype Amazement, which I think reading through the card effects is pretty solid here. So we've got the first one here, Amazement Administrator. And again, hard once per turns again. And it reads, if a trap card is activated, notice all these trap effects, which again, I think goes back to Konami wanting to have more of a control-based format. If a trap card is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. If your opponent normal or specials a monster or monsters, you can target one of those monsters, equip it with one of the attraction traps from your deck. Once per turn, you can banish any number of attraction traps from your graveyard, then target that many cards your opponent controls and destroy them. Now, what I like about this card is it does have some interruption in a way that it gets special, but that's really it. I wish it was more on your opponent's turn. Carlos, what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, one of the disruptions is on your opponent's turn. It says if your opponent normal or
Oh
special summons
yeah,
a
yeah.
monster, you can target one of those monsters and equip one attraction trap
Yes,
from your
that's
deck.
true. Yep, yeah, good point.
And some of the traps act as so what I want to say is this archetype is so interesting because it has such a unique play style of equipping traps from your deck, and then based on
Yes.
what monster or the owner of the monster, they gain different effects. And so some of the cards that we're going to talk about later, like one of them acts as like a mind control
Yep.
if it's equipped to your opponent's monster. One of them acts as a DD Crow, or not DD Crow, a Book of Moon if it's equipped to your opponent's monster. So this card is like actually pretty good as a boss monster in terms of design because you have that disruption, and then on top of that, you also have you have disruption if you're going first, and you just special summon this,
Yeah.
and then you can banish any number of attraction traps and target that many cards on the field, destroy them. So you can also have a really strong going second play. So like it's really really good in the fact that it's versatile and it can be used in any situation.
Do you think it's going to be easy to get out?
This one, yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Okay.
Because some of the cards have some of the attraction cards, they have ways that you can activate them directly from the deck. So this special summons on activation of the attraction traps.
Nice.
And
Nice.
and the field spell, which I think we'll talk about later, it literally says if you set an attraction trap, you can activate it the turn you set it. And so once again, this is going to be actually very simple to get out in this deck.
Awesome.
It's a good boss monster.
Awesome. Casey, seeing that this card is all about using traps, do you feel that this fits the future forward thinking of Konami, that they definitely want to slow things down?
Yeah, of course. They're gonna want it. They want it slower so they can push their new product. And if these new cards are going to be the kings of using trap cards, then that's exactly where they want our format to be.
You know
Yeah.
what?
They don't want-
You can finish it.
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Carlos. Yeah, what are you thinking?
I was gonna say, you know what? Too, this archetype is probably gonna mix extremely well with Altergeist, just because Altergeist gain their effects when a multi-faker specifically it gains its effect when you activate any trap card, and these cards literally activate trap cards during your turn, and the fact that you could literally say activate a trap card. And then get its corresponding effect, and then you could special summon an administrator. You could also special summon a multi-faker, get a search off multi-faker. Like there's some pretty crazy things you could do with this deck because
Wow.
it doesn't. Like nothing in this deck says it locks you into amazement cards.
Wow, that's amazing to think about. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Woo.
Unintended.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I know. Pretty bad there. Okay, so let's go to the next card here. So we've got Ambassador, Amazement Ambassador. It says when this card is normal summoned, you can target one attraction trap in your graveyard and one face-up monster your opponent controls. Equip that target on the field with the target in the graveyard. And then the quick effect, you can target one of your attraction traps equipped to a monster, equip it to an amazement monster you control, or a face-up monster your opponent controls. Casey, feeling pretty good about that level 3?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's. I mean,
yeah, what part do you like about it?
I mean, it's a normal summon that doesn't need the tribute. I mean, the other card needed.
Mm-hmm.
If you want, I could talk a little bit more about it, just because I've read.
Yeah.
No, you go right ahead, Carlos.
These are all,
that's fine
these are all
too.
pretty new to me. To
No,
be honest.
okay, that's fine. That's fine.
They're good. So, this card's really, really good because, so the first effect is okay because it's literally just recursion.
Yeah.
And so having recursion on a normal summon is really good. The second effect is really ridiculous because the trap cards actually gain their effects based on what monster they're equipped to.
Yeah.
Like if they're equipped to a card you control, they gain a different effect than if they're equipped to a card your opponent controls. So the fact that you are able to switch the what monster it's equipped to, and you can choose basically which effect you get on your opponent's turn is really, really
that's
good.
so good. Yeah. Wow. Especially depending on what they're playing. Oh my goodness. See, and I like that. I think that promotes more thinking. So I'm pretty excited to hear that. I agree with you. I think that's pretty solid for sure. After that, we've got the level 4 card here. This one is a machine type, Amazement Attendant. And again, a hard once per turn, which I'm all about. When this card is normal summoned, you can set one attraction trap directly from your deck. That's amazing. To your spell trap zone. Again, any card that just from the normal gives you a +1 automatically is pretty good. And then you've got the quick effect. You can target one of your trap cards, equip it to a monster, equip it to an amazement monster you control, or a face-up monster your opponent controls. I'm assuming all the cards are going to work like this. Is that how they are, Carlos?
Correct. They all have the trap cards or the monster cards.
The monster cards. Do they all have that type of quick effect where you get to transfer the cards?
Yeah, the main deck monster or the little ones, not the big one.
Okay. Pretty good though. I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, but the big one's better actually because the big one says that when your opponent equip one directly from the deck, so you can literally choose a form of disruption during your opponent's turn.
Ooh, that is just good. Really, really good.
But specifically, that card is really, really good because, like you said, it literally self-replaces on a normal summon, and literally that's pretty much it. Like you want to be able to set up your amazement traps, and you want to be able to like combo off with the trap cards. And so the fact that you could literally search your deck for any of them, it's really, really good.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it also has a really good field spell where it says you can activate one attraction trap card during your main phase of the turn that it's set. Wow, what an effect right there. And during the end phase, you can send one of your attraction traps, equip it to a monster to the grave, then target one of your attraction traps with a different name that is banished or in your graveyard, and set it to your spell and trap zone. So the recycling here is just amazing to me.
You're right. It definitely is amazing.
Yeah, someone just brought up, Carlos, someone in the chat just brought up, what about Paleo? That's a great question with that. Would that be effective here?
In terms of like playing it with it?
Yeah, would it, because you brought up how Altergeist would sync with this well. Could Paleozoic sync as well too?
So the thing is, the Paleos get to special summon themselves in the graveyard. Or they can special summon themselves from the graveyard as level 2s whenever you activate a trap. So in theory, yes, the Paleos would have synergy. My thing is, I like Altergeist a little bit more because Altergeist you can play a much smaller package. Like you can play 3 multi-faker and then like one of like everything else you need.
Yeah.
Whereas Paleo, you're gonna have to play a really massive package. Like you're gonna have to play the frog package. You're gonna have to play Paleos, and then on top of that, you have to get the trap cards in the graveyard before you even to get the maximum value off of special summoning them, so that you can go into Toad. I like the Altergeist deck a little bit more, but if you wanted to go the paleo route with it, there's nothing stopping you.
Oh, right. Yeah. And I'm all about that experimentation. And so I like that that was brought up. But overall, it's a great archetype. I like where it's going. I like that we're seeing traps become relevant again, because I feel for so long they just haven't been unless they're like the tier one traps. So it's nice to see that occurring. Here's some of the other cards that go with it. Notice that both are quick play spell cards. So that's great. You got that interaction on your opponent's turn if you want. So the first one, yeah, my son Matthew's looking at it and he's like, wow. So when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets an amazement monster or monsters you control, target one of those amazement monsters you control and return it to the hand, and then you can special summon one amazement monster from your hand. So my question, Carlos, can I pop the card they targeted, then put it right back down?
Can you repeat that? You said, can you pop the card?
Yeah, so it says return it to your hand. So I return it to my hand, and then it says, then you can special one amazement monster from your hand. Can it be that exact same card?
Effect the target can raise monster. Yeah, it looks like you can target
Oh
it.
my gosh.
I think what they had in mind was you special summon the big boy. But like even if like it's just you could in theory just use it as protection. I think it's kind of niche in like its application. I much prefer the next quick play, but like it's a card you could play in the deck if you want.
Oh, that's interesting because I think this is pretty solid. Like, so for example, let's say someone activates an effect that's going to try and negate the effects of one of your big boss monsters. You pop it back to your hand, and then you
Okay,
bring
I
it
get what you're
back
saying.
down. You see what I'm saying?
Essentially like the alter guy's like trap, like it shuffles back into the deck, so you like basically bypass like the
Yes,
negation.
so that way you're making them waste a card, which could be a very powerful card, and then you're getting the ability to bring your boss monster right back, and then they have an extremely difficult time dealing with it. At least that's my
So
thought looking at that card.
so my thing is like I do like that interaction. The thing is it's just a niche interaction, and it only happens like very specific like situations. Like
Yes,
you'd have
yes.
to like activate it like in like say your opponent activates like an infinite impermanence.
Right.
You'd have to like chain that, and then you know what I mean.
Yes, yes,
It's
I do.
very niche.
Yeah, yeah. So Casey, your thoughts similar to what Carlos is thinking?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm right there with you. Just trying to understand what the cards are doing. This is my
So
first time looking at it.
No,
So
no, I
I
totally
think
get that. That's
I think
okay.
I don't think they're bad by any means. I mean, it looks like they're getting enough of the right kind of support. So
Yes.
we could be looking at our next tier one, if not really high tier two.
That's what I was thinking looking at these cards. I'm thinking a high tier 2 right now. But yes, I could see it possibly going that way depending on how the format keeps going eventually when this drops at some point. So let's look at the next card that you mentioned, Carlos. And this one is very good. This is an amazing card, amazing time ticket, where again it's you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. So you've got one, pay 800 life points and apply this effect based on whose turn it is. So that's amazing to me. If it's your turn, you get to add one amazement card, and I like that. Not monster, not trap, not spell. Amazement card from your deck to your hand. And then if it's your opponent's turn, you get to set one attraction trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone, and it can be activated that turn. Wow, that's pretty strong.
So, I wanted to say a few things. First of all, whenever you say like something in the archetype's amazing, I just can't like help but like think in my head like, yeah, of course they're all amazing. Like it's amazing archetype. But in terms of like card design, I love this card design. because it's so unique. Like, where else in Yu-Gi-Oh do you have a card design that gains an effect based on what turn player activated it? I
Yes.
think this might be one of the first ones, and that's pretty interesting. And I would definitely like for them to have like more cards, like kind of quick play spells that gain different effects based on what turn it is. So in terms of that, like just the design itself, it's amazing. And in terms of the card effect, it's just amazing. Like pay then you get to add literally one of any card. So it's literally a rota for your whole archetype. Or more specifically, it's like a Cleafort Scout. I think it's the pay 800 one.
Yeah.
It's literally a Cleafort Scout for your whole archetype.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And then on top of that, it says you can, so it locks you into one of the effects per turn, right? But if you draw two, you can literally get a search on your turn, and then on your opponent's turn, you can literally get a trap. And it's kind of ridiculous just how versatile it is. And then it's just to me, this is a 3 of in the deck. You're playing
for
3 of
sure.
these bad boys, and you're hoping to open this as often as possible.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty extraordinary, that's for sure. And I definitely like you said, the design is unique because it's based on the player's turn. Casey, do you agree that maybe that'd be a nice way for the card game to advance here? That we see more. If it's your turn, this is the effect you get. If it's your opponent's turn, this is what you get.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a bit more of this kind of stuff because it. I don't know if you guys touched on it the last video you did, but there's a world premiere card coming out in our next. I think it's Blazing Vortex.
Okay.
So the set name, and it's a world premiere card. It's described as a card that restricts players to only playing one monster per turn.
Oh,
and
wow.
So it makes me think that it might have like other effects. Maybe,
yes, yeah.
If you are the turn player, this happens or something. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Yeah, that definitely makes sense to me.
Just seeing stuff like that, it could definitely have that kind of wording. Since I mean, this is the next real set after core set, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
This is the next core set after Blazing Vortex, right?
I don't know. Yeah, Carlos, is that the case?
Yeah, it's Blazing Vortex in February for us, and then we should be getting this one March, April, May. We should be getting this set about May.
Okay. Awesome. I'm glad you guys know that because all I see is the OCG stuff, and I have no clue when it releases here. So yeah, I'm glad you guys know because I do not know. Let's go ahead and look at the traps here now. So we've got Amazement Family Face. It's a normal trap. Again, hard once per turn. Target one monster your opponent controls. Equip it with the attraction trap or traps. Equip this card to that target. Take control of the equipped monster. While you control the equipped monster, it gains 500 attack. It cannot activate its effects. Also, it is treated as an amazement monster. Ooh, interesting. So that's actually very interesting. So thinking of the card that we looked at before, could you pop that card, your opponent's card, to your hand using Amazement Special Show if you use Amazement Family Face?
You could return it to the hand, but it would go back to your opponent's
hand. It would go back to your opponent's. So, okay, just curious. Okay.
You wouldn't want to do that. This card's really good because this is basically like a snatch steal, or not a snatch. This is like a crackdown.
Yes.
For the Amazement archetype. It's really, really good.
Okay. No, that makes sense. And I like Crackdown. I think that's absolutely a fantastic card. I like the limitations on it too.
The cool thing too is Crackdown basically limits you, like you can't activate the effect and it can attack.
Right.
This one you can't activate the effect, but it gains 500 attack and you can declare an attack with it. So this is like in some sense better than Crackdown.
Yeah. Oh, I think it is based on this. Yes, absolutely. And I think Crackdown is a very well designed card. I think this could be very difficult to get around, actually. So that very good for disruption. The next one we have here is a Maze Attraction Cyclone Coaster. And I do like the art that they have on these cards, which we're definitely going to talk about the art with the next slides we'll look at here, because I love seeing different card types in different archetypes. Um, but and I like the roller coaster gimmick here that they've got going on. But it says target one amazement monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent controls. Equip this card to that target. You can activate this effect based on the equipped monster's controller. You target one spell or trap your opponent controls and send this and this card to the send it and this card to the graveyard. If it's your opponent, add one amazement monster from your deck to your hand, and if you do, send this card to the graveyard. Pretty interesting.
So I like this one. I don't like it as much as the Amazement family face.
Yes.
But I do like this one as like a 2 of. My thing is spell and trap removal. It's like really niche depending on like what deck you're playing against. Like if you're playing against Eldritch, like it's a good card. But like if you're playing against like say you're playing against a deck that doesn't use a lot of trap cards, or if they don't set a lot of trap or spells, like it is kind of useless. The first effect, but the effect that you can equip it to your opponent and then you can send it to the graveyard to get a search during your opponent's turn. That's really really good, especially if you have the big amazement monster.
Yes.
You could get a search off of, if you activated this, you could get a search off of this, and then you could get you could special summon that. To me, that's really good.
Wow, that's fantastic. I didn't even think about that interaction. Oh my goodness, boy, what an archetype. I mean, again, guys, the puns here. It's pretty amazing. Looking at what it's going to be able to do, I'm pretty impressed so far. And I do like you said, this card makes a lot of sense against a deck like Eldritch, but maybe not others. And so it's nice that you'll have options to side. So I do like that for sure. Again, there's lots of different traps here. So we've got a Maze Attraction Wonder Wheel. Target one amazement monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent controls. Equip this card to the target. You can activate this effect based on the equipped monster's controller. If it's you, during the main phase, you can return one card from your hand to the bottom of the deck. Then you get to draw a card. If it's your opponent, swap the equipped monster's attack and defense until the end of this turn. Wow. Yeah, go ahead.
So something funny, the rest of the amazement cards we're gonna see, they're all based on different archetypes, and they take like inspiration from those archetypes. So this Ferris wheel is actually a Ferris wheel of Ojamas, which I find hilarious.
Yes, and that's what I'm talking about. I love that they're putting other art into these. It's awesome. Anyways, go ahead.
And so the second effect, where you switch the monster's attack and defense, that's just the effect of Ojama Country, which is hilarious.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That effect is a little bit underwhelming, though, just because it doesn't work with Link monsters, because they don't have defense.
Right.
So you can't do that. The first effect that says during your main phase, you can return one card from your hand to the bottom of the deck, then draw one card. Like, it's okay because it helps you fix your cloggy hands, but I don't think it's like the best. So maybe this is a niche card. Maybe you play it as a one of, but I don't think the Amazement deck's probably going to run this card, if I'm being honest.
No, and I could see that. The one thing I do like is if you did get to swap, like, there's sometimes we've got cards that are 4,000 beaters, but their defense is 0. So it'd be pretty amazing if you could swap that. I don't know. It'd be pretty nice, maybe for some very specific situations. But yeah, I think that'd be about it. Casey, thoughts you have on that just here in the card?
I don't know how to feel about it just yet.
No, that's perfectly fine. All right, well, we can move on then. Let's look at the next one. A Maze Attraction Majestic Manege. I'm not sure. So target one amazement monster you control or one face-up monster your opponent control and equip this card to the target. Apply this effect based on the equipped monster's controller. The equipped monster gains 500 attack. Also, if it would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. Your opponent, the equipped monster, loses 500 attack for each of your attraction traps that are equipped to a monster. Okay, very interesting. Carlos, how do you feel about this one?
So, like the first effect is kind of okay because it buffs your attack and then it provides you some protection.
Yeah.
It's kind of niche, but like it is what it is.
Yeah.
The other one where it like makes your opponent's monster lose attack.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I really don't think this one's gonna see too much play either, to be honest.
No.
But what I do like about this card though is this card is based on the Six Samurai card.
I was just gonna ask you, is this the temple situation?
Yeah, this is the oh god, Six Samurais have a trap card where you can like pay all but 100 of your life points to special summon any number of Six Samurais. This artwork's eerily reminiscent of that one. Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Love it. And again, I do appreciate the card art. I'm such a fan. Speaking of the card art, oh yeah, everybody, you know how I love those ghost tricks. I immediately was a fan as soon as I saw this card. And because I like the art, we're going to talk about that one first. Okay, so it's a maze attraction horror house. And it says here, target one amazement monster you control, and it's the same thing every time. You can activate this effect based on the equipped monster's controller. Target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect until the end of this turn. Your opponent change the equipped monster to face down defensive position, and which makes so much sense because that's all ghost tricks do. Let's just flip everything face down. So Carlos, your thoughts?
So, first of all, I love the artwork. I think it's adorable.
Me too. I love the art. I love it.
Like, I love the fact that they looked at ghost tricks and this archetype, and they're like, "Oh yeah, haunted house." Like that's adorable. So hilarious.
Yes.
In terms of actual card design, I really like this one, to be honest.
Because, Me too.
So if it's equipped to your monster, it basically acts as an effect veiler during your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Which is really good. And then if it's equipped to your opponent's monster, it acts as a Book of Moon.
Yes.
So it's like you get an effect veiler or a Book of Moon, your choice. And it's like literally, that's a good card.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I completely agree. I thought, man, they nailed this one. Oh, what was that, Casey?
Said I like that one a lot. And
yeah.
I also I noticed the FA archetype is on the other card.
Yes, I did too. Yeah, I noticed that, and I think they're trying to do like bumper cars or something with it almost.
Right.
I thought that was a fun shout out as well. But yes, I was super excited to see this card, and I might just play the deck because this is in here. I mean, that's how much I love ghost tricks. I know, just ridiculous, right? Okay, so let's look at the one that's the FA nod, which FAs, oh man, they would need so much help to make them competitive. Okay, so a maze attraction rapid racing. Again, these are normal trap cards. So again, if it's you target one card in either graveyard, change the equipped monster's battle position. If you do, shuffle that target into the deck. So pretty interesting there. Thoughts on that one? Yeah. Yeah.
It's a card.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
I love the way you put that. It's a card. Yeah, it makes sense. That's too funny.
So, unlike the other ones, this one only has the one effect, which it's kind of mediocre, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like it can get rid of graveyard resources, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Then it has to change your monster's battle position.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why it needed to do that.
Yeah.
Like maybe if it was like maybe if it was like target your monster, it becomes like unaffected by your opponent's card effects this turn, and then shuffle one into the graveyard. Maybe it'd be a lot better. You could, play it as like a one of or a two of, but like currently, I don't really see it as a card you're gonna play.
Yeah.
I think you're probably gonna put it in the side deck if anything. I think the real bud and breader of this deck, or the bread and butter of this deck, is gonna be the horror house, because that one's really good.
Yeah.
And then the first trap we talked about,
Yeah.
I can't remember
The
it,
family
but that one was
face.
pretty good too.
Yeah. Oh, and what is that in family face? Is that Fright First?
I don't know. I was gonna say, like, I think it's Fright First, but like I don't think so. Unless they're really really teasing us and they're gonna give us new Fright First support.
That's what I was
I don't
wondering.
actually think they are.
Because I don't know what that is. Guys in the chat, if you happen to know what that is, I would love to know. I think that would be awesome.
It kind of looks like a Five Nights at Freddy kind of thing.
It does. That's why I thought Fright First. Yes.
It's so weird though, because like the other four trap cards all have like a theme based on a different Yu-Gi-Oh archetype, but these two don't really seem to take inspiration from anything. They're just kind of weird in that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stream is actually super behind for me, so.
Oh, is it? Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
I haven't seen the cards you're talking about yet.
Oh gosh. Oh dear.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. I think.
All right. Are you able to look at it there, Casey? Any thoughts?
Which ones?
The family face one.
Family face. Yeah. No, that does definitely look like the.
Fright First.
Yeah, the Fright First.
That's what I thought
in
first
a weird
looking
way.
at it. Yes.
My thing is like they don't really they're like those aren't any of the fusion monsters, because if they were the fusion monsters, they would have like the scissors sticking out.
Yes.
None of them have the scissors.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
Actually, the ones up top kind of look like the evil twins.
Oh. Wait, you might be right. Yeah.
The dark and the light one right up there up top. Either that or they're the one princesses.
I know what they are. They're the they're the Amazement main deck monsters as teddy bears.
No, are you serious?
Yeah,
Let me look through here. Oh, they are! Oh my god!
And then
and then there's the teddy bear.
Okay.
Yeah, you see it?
I see it. Yes, I do see it. That's awesome.
That's actually really adorable, man.
That's awesome. I love art. I love art inside of another card that's on a card. I think that's fantastic. So I love what they're doing here. So guys, this is an archetype you definitely want to check out. I like it because it seems very control based, and you guys know that I'm a pretty big fan of control decks. So I can't wait to try it. I'm so glad Carlos put this in to talk about this week, because I had not heard about it yet. So super excited.
Same here.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The only thing I want to say is, man, I really hope I kind of want the main boss monster to be a secret rare, just because I think this archetype specifically, with all the bright colors and all the like vibrant, like the vibrant designs, I think some of these cards would absolutely pop as secret rares.
I think they would, but that would drive up the price. So from the budget standpoint, I want it to be cheap.
That's a no from him, Chief.
It's all right, so let's go ahead now, and I wanted to talk about this because you mentioned how much fun you had with your girlfriend doing this. The Speed dual product that just launched, where it's the Battle City set. So now that you've tried it out, is this definitely something people should buy?
I absolutely would recommend it. This is probably the best speed duel product they released so far. Everything before this has been kind of meh, but this product's awesome. So basically what it is you pay $30 and you get the box. The box is called the Speed Duel Battle City box. In the box, you have 8 pre-constructed decks that are all based on different characters from Battle City. They're based on their decks. So you have an Arcana, Dark Magician, Dark Paladin fusion deck. You have a Yugi Magnet Warrior deck. You have a Kaiba Blue Eyes deck. You have a Masked Beast deck. with Mass Beast, Descardius, and the Mass Beast Fusion, and you just have a lot of really iconic Jinzo deck. You have a lot of really iconic Yu-Gi-Oh decks in one product.
That's just
On
awesome.
top of that, so the decks come like come just pre-built. You get them regardless, right? And then you get a special pack, and each pack has 8 secret rares. And so it's the first time secret rares have ever been printed in a speed duel. And so you get 8, but 3 are always the Egyptian gods. And so right off the bat, that's good
Yeah.
because speed duel cards can be played in in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes.
So these
yes.
cards are going to hold value, and secret rare god cards are going to hold value irregardless.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, some of the cards they're reprinting as like secret rares are ridiculous. Like they literally, you can get Dark Magician Blue Eyes, Red Eyes as secret rares, and they have first edition on them. You can get a Jinzo, which I actually pulled one, and that's what I was trying to hunt down.
Oh,
which
nice,
is awesome.
nice.
Reinforcement of the Army, Cosmic Cyclone, Foolish Burial, Lost Wind.
Wow.
A lot of really, really good Valkyrion, which isn't really a staple card, but it looks beautiful as a secret rare. You can get a lot of really awesome cards as secret rares, and I think they're going to hold value future on. I think this is a really good product to like maybe get. And you can. So what I did is I got 3 and I cracked them open so I could get a playset of each deck, and then I could get all the secret rares. But like if you could do that, and then you could maybe get one and keep it to the side, because I think this product is going to shoot up in price eventually.
Oh yeah,
and
I do
think
too.
I think this. So basically, what I'm saying is I think this product is an amazing buy to play with your friends, to do mini tournaments. And it's an amazing product to basically also hold long term. So this product to me is a win-win.
How long did it take you by chance when you did this with your girlfriend? Did you actually have a mini tournament?
We did have a mini tournament. We played all 8 decks, and we did each deck we did each deck against each other, and we played all the way to the finals. And the cool thing is, there's a built-in format in the Speed Duel Battle City thing, where basically, I'm not. If you remember, in Battle City, when you lost, you would give your opponent your best card.
Their best card, yeah.
So what we did is every time one of us lost or won, we would give the opponent the secret rares out of our deck, and they could put them in their deck. And it was really, really awesome because we were basically like we were like basically recreating Battle City.
That's awesome.
And then like hunting down the rare cards. It was just really awesome and really fun.
I'm curious, what came out on top?
The first time around, it was actually the Magnet Warrior deck.
Oh wow, nice,
and
nice.
She summoned so my girlfriend summoned Valkyrion, the Magnet Warrior, and I couldn't
get around it. Yeah.
So I was like, oh damn, I'm just dead. She killed me with Magnet Warrior.
Nice.
You deserve it.
With all the stuff I give her in Master Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm pretty sure I do deserve it.
Yes, you do.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me. Okay, let's go ahead and move on now. It does look like a lot of fun, and it's actually something I'm thinking about picking up for the family. But thank you for letting us know how it went buying it. Casey, this is something you and I were talking about, premium packs from the OCG. And this card looks amazing to me. And it reads, it's Angel 01 or something like that. And it goes, you can only special summon with the way written in this card's name, one effect once per turn. So it says you can special summon this card from your hand by revealing one level 7 or higher monster in your hand. While this special summon card is in the monster zone, you can tribute summon one level 7 or higher monster during your main phase, in addition to your normal set or summon. You can only gain this effect once per turn. And Casey, it immediately made me think of Monarchs. What's your thoughts on this?
What's the stats on this thing? I can't see it on the screen yet.
It's
At
it's
200, 300.
yeah.
How strong? Sorry.
200
Level 1.
attack, 300
Oh, okay.
defense.
Yeah, it's level 1. Excuse me. Hold on. I'm reading it.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
Oh,
So,
this is broken.
All right.
so
That's
the funny thing is, I'm not sure if you guys have read the Yu-Gi-Oh! R manga. So
I have
it's
not.
a
No.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin-off manga that takes place directly, or no, it takes place during, I think directly after Battle City, during before some of the other filler arcs. And there in the Yu-Gi-Oh! R manga, Pegasus has a son, and he plays a deck called the Wicked Avatars. And so
Oh.
this card is actually supposed to be support for the Wicked Avatars because they're essentially evil Egyptian god counterparts. And so this is supposed to be
Oh
support to that, but
wow.
like unintentionally, they just made like really damn good tribute support.
Well, yeah. I mean, so Casey, I know how much you enjoy Monarchs like I do. Do you think this is gonna really rock some decks going forward?
Um, maybe. There's something that comes to mind immediately. I'm not one to really share a lot of my my little brews that go in my head until I actually test them out on paper. But
No, I get that.
sure, I'll give it a shot. So you know how we were just talking about how Drytrons trigger a card that searches fairies?
Yes.
Look at these two cards.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh gosh.
Imagine a small monarch engine.
Emptiness.
Yeah.
Oh
Imagine
my
a small monarch
goodness.
engine in Drytron. That
Oh,
would be insane.
oh wow.
But
Okay,
yeah, this guy being
frightening.
level 1, you can reveal higher. It just says level 7 or higher.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can just reveal. It doesn't have to be ether. It could be what he just said, the Vanity's ruler.
Yes. Yeah.
It's level 1, and I was gonna note this. So when I initially saw Drytrons, it blew my mind. The deck searches so much anyway, so Droll and Lockbird actually just hurts it a lot to begin with. But why wouldn't they just actually play Where Art Thou?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's where I was going with it, because you could search stuff like Droll and Lockbird, DD Crow, Effect Veiler, those things off of Where Art Thou, and who cares if you take 2,000 life points? You have a hand trap.
Yeah, oh absolutely. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that.
And none of them played
Absolutely.
it, which I don't know if that was, maybe it's suboptimal, whatever. The deck's brand new. Maybe they didn't think that far ahead. I don't know. But looking at this card, that would make me play it. That
Oh,
would make me play Where Art Thou.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think it's a great card. I can see it being put in lots of different decks. Especially the fact that it just says you get an additional normal summon. I mean that is
Yeah.
absolutely amazing to me. Carlos, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head. This card's really, really good. So, like, and the best part about it too, for me, is that you special summon it by revealing a level 7 or higher monster. So you special summon it. You get, so it doesn't even burn your normal summon. You can normal summon, and then you can get a tribute summon on top of all that, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, I know it's really strong. I thought, what a card. So I'll be very curious to see how it goes. Now you'll notice that it does say that its release date is undecided. We just know it's coming. So I'll be very curious if we end up getting it here in the TCG. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, is it times where it takes years for premium cards to come to us?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like for instance,
Usually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like for instance, like the Link Rain set, which is like similar-ish to the premium pack. Like it took us like years to get like the stuff from Link Rain's pack 1.
That's what I was thinking. But go ahead, Casey. What were you thinking too?
Yeah, I was gonna say it does take a lot of time. Sometimes it just depends on what kind of. This is what is unfortunate about the TCG versus OCG. So TCG will then dictate whether or not these cards can push sales over here.
Mhm.
And so if there's a archetype coming out that would support, like let's say they want to create some more monarchs. Here's
Yeah.
hoping. Anyway, then they would release a card like this to push that as well.
Nope,
kind
that
of thing.
makes sense. That makes complete sense to me.
How do you spell, or what's the card? I'm trying to think of it. It's a level 7 angel monster. It's Angel 007 or something like that. I can't remember what it is. You guys know what I'm talking about?
I do
I think I
not.
know what you're talking about, but it's a very niche.
It's a very old card, but this is what it reminded me of. This angel card we're
Is
talking
the
about.
Angel 007, is it like white and it has like black trim?
Yes.
Oh, where is
I can't think
this?
I'm trying to type it in to.
Did you
PC
say
player, but I won't.
Angel 007? Is that what you said?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, you
Okay,
got me
yeah.
curious.
Yeah, there's a monster called Angel 07. It has an effect that says when this card is tribute summoned, it gains the following effect. The effect of effect monsters cannot be activated. Holy crap.
Where is this card? I cannot find it. Okay, so you
What's his
got
name?
me very curious.
It's
Spell it.
called Angel 07.
I found it. There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Oh my
So-
gosh, no one can activate their monster effects. Wow. I knew you guys just said it, but now I'm reading it. Wow. Okay.
That's just
whew.
GG. Like,
Yeah, no
unless you
kidding.
have
Like, what do you
something
do?
to, like, get rid of it.
So this is what it reminded me of. That card you were just showing us.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's just the same archetype, right? Because
Yeah.
Angel.
Yeah,
followed by a number.
yeah, it's Angel.
Hey,
Yeah.
That means they could have, like, in theory they could have like
2,
like
3, 4,
2,
5,
3
and 6.
exactly.
Oh wow. Oh, that's so interesting. Oh wow. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Casey. I didn't even know this card existed. So
Damn, don't release the podcast yet, Chrono. We gotta do the buyout before this.
yeah, no kidding, right? Yeah, I mean, my gosh. Everyone, please don't hop on TCG and do it before us. Okay, so.
Oh jeez.
Wow, that is
ordered
just
50
amazing.
copies.
Wow, very very interesting there. Again, you guys just know the cards so much better than I do. Wow. So now we've got something else here that I thought was pretty interesting. The Ancient Guardians. So, Carlos, talk to us about this.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna talk to you about this, but before I bring this up, that Angel 07 is from Light of Destruction, which is like, is that like that's the set that brought out Light Sworns, right?
Oh,
So-
wow.
Yes, I'm old, Carl.
Wow. That is really old. My gosh.
No, and check this out. Near Mint Unlimited is 456. Like, damn, this might actually be a really good, like, unintentionally, this might actually be like a really good card to just like pick up a few copies of and hold on. Like, someone must have already like started to buy them out because like Near Mint First Edition, there's only 2.
It's in the Speed Duel Battle City box.
Is it really?
Oh,
As
you're
a
kidding
copy?
me.
Yeah, it's a common.
Oh
Okay.
my
Well, that's why
gosh.
I've seen it recently. But I'm just talking about for the. I guess technically you could use it. I'm just. I know
Before that, it was a jump promo and a secret rare. That's it.
That is amazing.
what rarities the jump promo.
It's just the ultra from the magazines.
Okay, because my thing is like if they're actually making this an archetype, people like to go max rarity. So like
Right.
that might actually be a really really good. Like that might be something people target in the future.
Wow. Well, that's good to know. I think this might be something I pick up then. So
I feel
now,
like we're detectives now.
oh, it's damaged
Well,
though. That's
Hey,
350.
hey guys. Yeah, first edition, Near Mint is
It's like
$30.
$50.
$30 to $50. Yeah, there's only 2 on here that's Near Mint first edition.
Oh
If
my
someone
already
gosh.
came through.
I'm picking up the Near Mint Unlimiteds if that's the case.
Wow. 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 Again, just you guys amaze me with your knowledge of these things. Jiminy Christmas. Okay, let's go ahead now and get back to the Ancient Guardians. So, talk to us about these. They sound interesting.
Okay, so the next deck building set was revealed. It's called Deck Build Pack Ancient Guardians. That's pretty much all we know about it. So if you don't know what a deck build pack is, it's basically in the same mold as like Secret Slayers and Dual Genesis Impactor. So it's basically this set. So this set's gonna have like mostly rares, the occasional super rare, the occasional ultra rare, and collector's rare. So that's the kind of set we're looking at. And they revealed the first 3 archetypes. They didn't reveal any name. They just showed the pictures of each of the archetypes and a little description of what the archetype does.
Okay.
So this first one's like a serpenoid kind of dragon looking thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of looks like a reptile. So this is actually leading to some snake rain buyouts, which is hilarious. And it says a giant boss monster for a theme that specializes in using the graveyard. So this theme is just going to be graveyard centric, and apparently you're going to want to fill up the graveyard and get going.
Oh, and that is a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel the graveyard
My
is so
kind of
key.
deck.
So.
My kind of deck.
Oh
That's
yeah,
partially,
yeah.
that's partially one of the reasons why I don't think it's it's a reptile, because like Konami knows that card exists. There's no way they would make a reptile deck that focuses on the graveyard.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. But very interesting for sure. Then we've got the next one here. It's a pendulum build, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, Triff's gonna absolutely love this. So it says a pendulum monster capable of controlling the musical scales. I'm imagining that's just like it can modulate the scale of the pendulum to special summon different level monsters, kind of like a conductor. I mean, really cool archetype. It's really, really cool that they're finally going to release like a pendulum archetype.
Yeah.
Because like, man, it feels like it's been forever since they've actually like released a dedicated pendulum archetype.
Yes.
Like they've released standalone cards, but not a pendulum archetype.
Yes, and I think that's good.
What are these called? I'm sorry.
They don't have names yet. They've only revealed the the boss monster of each of the decks and a brief description of each of their a brief description of each of the archetypes.
So the description was something to do with music?
Yes, musical
it
scales.
says a pendulum monster capable of controlling the musical scales.
I wonder if they're gonna go with. This would be really cool. So, all right, I just see the conductor right here. This is interesting. So this card looks like a Melodious monster.
That's what I was thinking, Casey. That was the first thought I had.
On top of that, some of the symphonic warriors are actually pendulums.
pendulums,
so I wonder if it's going to be something intertwining those two. That would be kind of cool.
Yes, it would.
I don't think it's going to be direct support, just because the deck build packs, they tend to release like all exclusive archetypes. But I could see like, or all new archetypes rather. But I could see like I could see them taking like inspiration from the symphonics.
Yeah, like pictures. That's what I was getting at.
Okay, gosh, I thought you meant like oh, they're gonna tie the archetypes together.
Oh no.
No, I like it. But I did have that thought with Melodious. I could see something with that. And I didn't even think about the pendulum monsters you mentioned, but that would make sense to me. Very interesting. And then we've got the final one here, the Ancient Guardians.
Well, the deck's not called Ancient.
Oh, right,
Guardians.
right.
It's just,
the synchro version. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna call this deck double A, because this monster looks exactly like Zeus, and you can't convince me. You cannot convince me they're not just making a whole double A archetype, and it's gonna be like Gundam, amazing, like awesome artwork.
Yeah. And I love the Gundam. Well, there's certain Gundam series I used to enjoy.
Level 12 synchro monster. Dude, imagine! Oh my god, the absolute.
What's a Nordic?
Chaos.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, an ancient Norse god, and then we've got Gundam artwork. Yeah.
Let's go.
That'd be quite the situation.
So really, we don't know anything about this archetype except it's going to be a synchro archetype. I think the wording of like the phrase they use is kind of interesting. The ace synchro monster, like ace as in best, and like But what ace? Like the ace of what? It kind of
Yeah.
implies
Has
like it's
plot
something.
armor.
What I was implying is that it implies that it's something we already have been introduced to. That's why I totally wouldn't be surprised if like this is like if there's like a whole double A archetype and like they're based on like different gods, like
Okay.
double A Poseidon or double A Neptune or double A. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
To me, that would just be like a chef kiss if they like had a double A fusion, a double A synchro. Sign me up.
Oh, you guys are cracking me up. No, it's very interesting. When I saw that this was happening, I was intrigued. But like you've pointed out, Carlos, all we have are these pictures. So it'll be very interesting to see what they end up doing with this. But it's also nice to know that you've got a synchro, you've got the pendulum, and this one just using the grave. So it at least gives us something to think about, which is pretty cool for sure. So
For sure, I'm actually really excited about this deck building set. I hope it comes out better than Genesis Impact. Also, if they made that Gundam a collector's rare, like oh my goodness.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think people are gonna like that. If you can bring other people in from different genres, why not? So because you might just get people for that like Gundam being like, ooh, I want to check this out just to see what it's like. So if they have that in their background, if that makes sense. But guys, that is going to do it for us. So hopefully you are all caught up here with the Yu-Gi-Oh news that you might have missed here. Because like I said, there was a ton to talk about tonight. And we hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, a special thanks to Obelisk Blue 13 and KC Games. They have done 2 streams with me today. Guys, you guys absolutely rock. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. I enjoy talking about Yu-Gi-Oh literally anytime, especially when it's like cool archetypes like Gundam machines and like the new Amazement archetype. Like there's a lot of stuff to be excited about.
Absolutely. Casey, again, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Oh, say it again.
I love doing it.
Awesome.
So.
And we enjoy having you guys on, especially with your knowledge of the game. We appreciate it. So guys, that is going to do it for us. Again, hopefully you are caught up on Yu-Gi-Oh news you might have missed. And thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. If you did like this video, please hit that like button, and we'll see you guys next time.